When we talk about brands that built their identity not only through power, not only through luxury, and not only through exclusivity, but through the deeper emotional cinematic connection with performance vehicles, Aston Martin always stands in its very own class. The Aston Martin DB12 Coupe 2026 isn't just a new model year continuation, it is the most aggressive, most important evolutionary push into the modern high-performance elite GT space that Aston Martin has ever made. The company calls it the world's first super tourer, and it's not just a marketing line, it genuinely climbs into performance and luxury specification that makes previous DB models look traditional. The DB12 is not designed simply to be faster, it is designed to redefine what a grand touring coupe must now be in the second half of the 2020s. After the DB11 era, after the years of V12 legacy, after James Bond culture embedded into global memory, the 2026 DB12 is Aston Martin deliberately repositioning itself again to stand shoulder to shoulder against Ferrari Roma, Bentley Continental GT Speed, and even high-performance Porsche Turbo S coupes. But the DB12 doesn't try to copy anything. It dialed up all Aston Martin's signature to a level where every sense, design detail, cabin sensation and torque response communicates serious supercar attitude while still staying a gentleman-level coupe. The exterior design is unmistakably Aston Martin but more sculpted, sharper and more dominant. The muscular front grille is significantly larger, now visually more aggressive with new revised lighting signature, slimmer matrix LED headlights and body lines that immediately speak higher aerodynamic intelligence instead of just old-school GT elegance. The stance is lower, wider, more athletic and the proportions push the front-engine rear-wheel super tourer identity forward into a modern visual language. The side profile still delivers that long bonnet classic Aston drama that is almost cinematic, but the sculpting of fenders and side creases now cuts the air more purposefully. The DB12 prioritizes stability at extremely high speed, aerodynamic pressure optimization and performance cooling management in ways previous DB generations didn't. At the rear, a clean but powerful tail design, sharp taillight profile and integrated spoiler line connect the whole car visually into one unified sculpture. The entire exterior gives the feeling that you are looking at Aston Martin now weaponized into competitive supercar territory, not just a luxury GT for private roads. Under the hood, Aston Martin now uses AMG-derived hand-assembled 4.0L twin-turbo V8 but heavily Aston Martin calibrated. For 2026, the DB12 Coupe pushes 680 horsepower and 800 Nm of torque. These numbers bring serious performance and the mid-range torque is brutal. This V8 has been pushed harder and tuned more aggressively than any previous DB V8 calibration from Aston. The power delivery starts early low and doesn't flatten when you expect it. From 0 to 100 km/h the DB12 Coupe hits in 3.6 seconds and top speed reaches around 325 km/h. Aston upgraded the cooling system, engine intake flow, turbo efficiency and intercooler optimization so the car can not only sprint explosively but sustain power in continuous aggressive highway pushes, real touring endurance and repeated track-style accelerations without thermal drop. The super tourer identity actually becomes real here because the DB12 is not about a single fast acceleration hit. It is built to maintain performance consistently and repeatedly. The chassis is now 7% stiffer than previous generation, the suspension is upgraded with new intelligent adaptive dampers, and steering tuning brings sharper response and more connected driver communication. The DB12 Coupe is a front mid-engine architecture with rear-wheel drive and intelligent limited slip differential, pushing mechanical grip and direct road feel in a much more motorsport-influenced direction. This is where Aston Martin wants to stand out from luxury rivals. They are merging luxury ride feel with sharp performance geometry so the driver can feel communication through steering and chassis balance, not just comfortable isolation. The DB12 wants the driver active, engaged, emotionally plugged in, not just cruising. The brakes are extremely powerful, with carbon ceramic optional package that reduces fade significantly and reduces unsprung mass by around 27 kg. This plays a huge role in repeated high-speed braking confidence, especially in mountain road-style driving or track-use sessions. The interior of the Aston Martin DB12 Coupe 2026 is one of the strongest revolutions inside the DB series in years. Aston Martin has now finally moved completely away from Mercedes' old UI system and now designed and engineered its own in-house infotainment architecture. This changes everything for the cabin personality and experience. The dashboard is modern, elegant, extremely premium and does not rely on borrowed software anymore. The system is designed with 3D mapping, over-the-air update capability and a new Aston Martin exclusive interface logic which gives the brand its own identity finally in digital era. The cabin materials continue to be some of the most beautifully handcrafted luxury anywhere in the world. Full semi-aniline leather, carbon fiber detailing, bridge-like center console design, glass and metallic switchgear, beautiful stitching, dynamic formed surfaces, precision British craftsmanship, all maintaining that ultra-high-end emotional experience inside. The sound system is developed with Bowers and Wilkins and it is a 15-speaker 1170-watt surround system engineered exclusively for DB12 cabin acoustics. This level of audio immersion matches the cinematic luxury direction Aston Martin always stands for. Driving comfort and usability are also an important part of the DB12 identity. Seats are beautifully supportive, designed for Grand Tour road trips, offering both long-distance comfort and lateral support during high-speed handling environments. The cabin is still intimate and sporty, not oversized or over-modernized like some ultra-luxury coupes now turning into tech lounges. Aston Martin keeps this pure. It still feels like a performance machine first but refined through luxury craftsmanship, not turned into a digital spaceship. It is an emotional environment, not a sterile tech zone. This balance is extremely important in Aston's new era. With the DB12, Aston Martin is not trying to chase electric trends yet, not trying to chase hybrid mainstreamization. Instead, the brand decided to double down on internal combustion for a few final extremely high-level petrol halo years while the world transitions slowly into electrification. These last-era combustion masterpieces will be historically special, because they represent the end peak of analog emotional super touring engineering before world regulation and automotive transitions erase this category. This is why DB12 is important and future collectible. It is one of the last great GTs born at high combustion power era while still modernizing software, UI and chassis tech to function intelligently in the late 2020s landscape. Now in terms of real driving personality, the DB12 Coupe in 2026 is all about fluidity, not nervous hyperactive twitch. It is aggressive but not chaotic. It is fast but not brutal for the sake of shock factor. The power band is smooth but extremely powerful, the steering weight is confidence building and precision oriented, and the car communicates its grip limit. Predictably so, experienced drivers feel bonded with machine, not fighting it. That super tour philosophy is very noticeable here. Where Ferrari Roma wants to be elegant but still ultra-sharp like a compact muscle dancer, Aston DB12 wants to feel like grand royal power that flows, glides, pushes forward with unstoppable force yet without losing refined character. You can drive this car 300 kilometers in one night between two European or Middle East cities and never feel tired or bored mechanically. The car always makes the driver feel special, like they are inside something that is sculpture, not just transportation. This is where Aston Martin differs from every other competitor. They do not want DB12 to feel like a copy of anything German or Italian. They want it to feel British exotic. A level of aristocratic rebellion mixed with mechanical adrenaline. It is luxury, yes, but luxury with attitude. Every detail from engine note, to interior scent, to stitching, to exterior front grille presence, communicates confidence, identity, cinematic emotion and exclusivity. The DB12 Coupe for 2026 is not a mainstream success target. It is a brand positioning signal, a statement product, a high-value emotional flagship designed to make people remember what petrol passion used to feel like before the electric future fully dominates. And the interesting thing is this DB12 likely will become extremely desirable in collector spaces because it represents the beginning of Aston Martin new era software architecture while still being pure combustion V8. It is one of those future milestone GTs that enthusiasts will search 20 years later saying this was one of the last proper analog feeling GT icons with strong digital precision but without electrified compromise. The DB12 also raises brand value across Aston's entire lineup portfolio because now this becomes the new identity reference baseline for interior design, for software feel, for performance tuning philosophy and for future DB family branches. In conclusion, the Aston Martin DB12 Coupe 2026 is not simply another luxury high-horsepower grand touring car. It is a rebirth definition for Aston Martin in the mid-2020s. A moment where the brand moves from old stylish romantic GT manufacturer to aggressively modern, confidence-aggressive super tourer manufacturer with independently controlled digital identity, much sharper chassis discipline, supercar-level power output and still some of the most beautiful handcrafted luxury cabin work on earth. This car reminds the world why Aston Martin still matters. It reminds the world that driving passion still matters. It reminds enthusiasts that sound, feel, vibration, mechanical soul, driver sensation and cockpit intimacy still matter at a time where the world tries to make cars emotionless appliances. The DB12 Coupe is not electricity, it is fire. It is not silent, it is symphonic. It is not disposable, it is future legendary. It is a car built for those who refuse to lose the magic in driving. It is a super tourer that will be remembered as one of the last great masterpieces of internal combustion high luxury emotional speed era.